Morning? Still morning. Uh, it's about 11, almost 11:30 here, and bear with me. Greetings from Maine. My name is Tammy, and this is Tammy's Stitches. Um, I had, a couple weeks ago, I put an event on my new Facebook group called Finish the Job. And it's starting on Friday, which is September 19th, and going until the 22nd, which is the first day of autumn. And it starts at noon on the 19th, and it ends at noon on the 22nd. So, if you are willing, if you are going to join me, that would be awesome. If not, I completely understand. Everybody has plans. Um, so, I've been thinking and having everything go into my head. Well, a lot of us do a very large projects, and if you have goals like I do, and then I might decide, instead of doing the traditional finish, which means finish the project, I might just finish the goal, which would be finishing up that particular job. The way I look at it is that people set goals for themselves, like I do, because it makes it easier for me to get things completed. Then that's finishing a job. That's finishing that particular task. So, like with my ABC stitching, I pick out as many as I can find that start with, say, the letter C, and I put those all in the storage bin that's next to my stitchy spot. And then every day, or every couple of days, I pick out something that begins with the letter C, and I don't put it away until I get 500 stitches. Or I'll, divide it up. If it's first thing in the morning, I'll work on it until there's 500 stitches. If it's later in the afternoon, I'll do half of that. So say I do 150, or 250, and then the next morning I will complete the 500 by doing another 250. And I'm keeping track on a little calendar, paper calendar that's empty, that's blank, except for the days. And I'll fill in the days, I'll fill in the month, and then I'll fill in what I've done. So, this is a FlossTube extra about finishing the job. So, either finishing a goal, or finishing, an element or a motif, or doing so many motifs. Say you pick something that's got 7 motifs, and then you say, okay, I want to do 5 motifs, so you do those 5, and then you can put it away. You know what I'm saying? So I've got a bunch of small little things here. This one is my Easter gnome. I don't have a picture of it. But I restarted this one on May 20th, 2025. I'm doing this on an 18 count 2 dyed Vit. Vit dyed 8 of it. I dyed myself. Oh, excuse me. And I'm using the color for DMC. Now my goal on this one is 2,500. So that's pretty much half, because it takes 5,031 stitches to finish this. So if I get 2,500 done, I have half of it done. So I might work on this. I'm not all entirely sure. But this would be my starting point. And I've got the nose in. I'm doing some of the ear. So I do believe I have this one on Pattern Keeper now, so it makes my life a little bit easier. don't know why I have it in an album bag. Alright, next one is Good Dog by the Blue Flower. Yeah. With this one, do we have a... Alright, so in this one, I have some filling in today. So that's what I might finish if I decide to do something. This needs to be filled in. This right here needs to be filled in. The windows need to be filled in. The roof needs to be finished. The dog needs to be finished. You know, and on this roof there is a pheasant, which I haven't started yet, so. But that's what I mean by finishing the job. Finishing things, elements that you've started in a whip that you haven't filled in yet, or finishing that particular whip if you can. And then okay, this one is called the Bee Jar, and you know, there isn't much left of this. And all I have to do is some back stitching and putting in a few elements if I want to, and this would be done. So this would be a perfect finish the job. The other one I have in here is, this is from Night Spirit Studios. It's the August Patreon pattern from, I think, 20, since I started stitching back in 2022, I'm going to say that most likely 2022. 2022, I don't know. But here it is. Beware of dog. And this only really has two colors. It has black and red. That's it. And I started this on 10/7/2024. I'm using an 18 count anthracite. And I'm using 310 and 666. So, this is also for when I get to the letter B, which I should hopefully get to the letter B by next week. And, you know, just do 500 stitches on it. I could do that, you know, this weekend instead, and then put another 500 stitches on it when I get to the letter B. Because it's nowhere near even thinking about being finished. Alright, next one I have here is, this one I've been meaning to work on for a very long time. I started to get frustrated and then stopped. This is the Titan Modernist Halloween Stitch Along 3-part mystery series. It's all done. This was 2017. And I am working on part 1. I'm doing this on, I think, a 14 count, something or other. I guess I'm going to be stitching. I don't have cards for this. I have to mix them up. But that's that one. I started to do this in dark 13 stitching, but never made it. So I mean, as you can see, right here, the witch part is, they're not really hard. They're very simple, and I could probably get it done if I really put my mind to it. And I think this is one of the ones that I am definitely going to work on. I'm going to try to get part 1 done. So, that would be finishing that part of this job. Alright, what else do I have here? This is October 31st by Cottage Garden Samplings. And but I think I started this one. I think I started it on October 31st, 2024. And I'm doing this on an 18 count gray stormy night. And I think which I most definitely think I'm going to be working on this, I'd probably try to finish the pumpkin. And maybe start some of the border. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm going to work on this one yet either. I'm just showing options. That's what I'm doing with this particular FlossTube. You'll find out what I worked on next a week from Friday. The next one is, oh, I could definitely finish this one. This is Minnie Be Merry, and this is from Waxing Moon Designs. And I'm doing this on, I started this on November 14th, 2024. I'm stitching it on an 18 count seamless helper. And I'm using mistletoe and poinsettia from Forbidden Fiber Company. And the Santa's helper is Forbidden Fiber Company's Fabrica Mode. I don't have that much left to go, just the house. And I could definitely finish this one, so I think this is going to be our next email. So I think what I'm going to do is send you on my list and I put down here. And where's that one? And then, this bag I made myself. This is Polar Bear. And as much as I hate white stitching, I love this one. I started this one on September 12th of last year, just on the road. I'm doing it on a 14 count mocha, and I'm doing my own conversion, which is basically anchor for 3, set of 818, I'm using 706, set of 991, I'm using Sophie Forest Floor. Instead of 3865, I'm using Sophie Bright Weights. Instead of 349, I'm using 816. Instead of 819, I'm using 224. And I think the only one that I'm keeping is 3756. And might be able to finish this one. And then perfect. It's very cute. And it's basically, once you get the scarf done, the rest of it is just white and outline. And on the other side of this, I did the elf feet. So I think I'm going to keep this one out because I haven't worked on it in a year. So it's time. The other thing we have from the blue flower. It is a freebie in 2021. And it's Meow the Merrier. Yeah. So, just a little cute cat and pumpkin. And I don't know. Not really thrilled with it. So I might just UFO it. Two more here. One is, oh, Squonk, yes, my little Squonk. No, this is my unicorn. This one is a lot more intensive, stitch intensive than I thought it would be. I started this on October 4th, 2024. I'm using an 18 count light teal, and I'm using DMC. And what I'm doing is when one of the rainbow colors comes up on this picking cycle. So the blue is 827. Nothing. Okay. Here's that. And then this is Shirova Creations. It's called Geometric. By Malva Diesel, and it's started by Shirova Creations. And this is not a big one. Usually Shirova Creations are huge. This one is not huge, by any means of the imagination. I haven't worked on this one in a while. So I'm doing this on an 18 count white. And so that's it. So this is as wide as it is. So what I'm going to do is I might finish a line, or I might finish a diagonal. Because as you can see, this is the way I used to do quilts. Is, you know, the square here of these two colors, and then the next square under this one is that blue, dark blue. And so on and so forth. So, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with that yet. I think this is the only one in this bag. I don't know what else I'm going to do this weekend, but I have 3 that I could probably get a substantial amount done and possibly be finishes in the future. Hello, ma'am. Coming to visit? Yes, yes. So, and there was one more thing I thought about doing. This might be a contender. This is my Dapper Chat. I don't have a picture of it right now. But this is my Dapper Chat, and usually when I work on this, I put in 200 stitches. I think I'm going to do that one too. Maybe I'll put in 400 instead of just 200. And then the other thing, that I might work on is my box in the forest. I do have some spaces I need to fill in, but I think what I want to do, this is my starting point, if I do this, I want to finish this, finish this, finish this. So that's, you know, a full 300 stitches plus whatever's left here. I'm not quite sure yet if I'm going to do that. This one is the Becomes from Lyra Studios, and I'm doing this on a 20 count Lugana, and my goal is 3,000. I've only got 340 stitches. So if I was going to work on it, I'd want to do this whole top border with a flower, a bee, a flower, a bee. I don't know what I'm going to work on, but this is definitely, I think, another contender that I might work on. I don't know. And then we have the Halloween cake stand, and I love this. This is by Ulysses Blue. Yes, Ulysses Blue. I'm doing this on the 18 count sterling. Got 300 stitches. My goal is to finish it, because it's only got 3,839 stitches. So with the 300 I got, I'm at 7.81%. So This one might be the better choice. Especially if I finished the tier here. Because this is a tiered kickstand. And since this didn't really get a good start, but I made up for it, I think this would probably be, you know, finish the tier, possibly do another tier, you know, get 2 tiers done, and then see what that leaves me. So I think that's going to be definitely a contender. So I've got 5 things here. Whether I work on them or not is something completely different. So we're gonna go with Polar Bear. Not sure on that one. And then you stick it on. Part 1. It is part 1. Beware of dogs. Yeah, we'll go with 500 stitches. No, we're going to do the same thing for Polar Bears, 500. And then Dapper Chap, we're going to put in 4. Because that's something I really want to see you finish sooner rather than later, even though it's a newbie. And then cake stands. And 2 tiers. Alright. So these are things I plan on getting finished this weekend. So I can, when D comes up, I can work on Dapper Chap again and do 500 stitches. Because all my ABC stitching has 500. Or that's the goal I set for myself. So the Polar Bear, we'll get 500 stitches on. Halloween Sal will finish part 1. Possibly finish the letters that say Happy Halloween on the bottom. Beware of Dog, 500 stitches. Dapper Chap, 400 stitches. And the Halloween Cake Stand, 2 tiers. And we'll see where that gets me on those. I will be changing my letters soon. I have 1, 2, 3, 2 that I have to get a full 500 on, and then I think that's 3. And then one of them, 2 of them, I need to finish the 500. And then the 2 new starts, I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna do those. I think I might wait on those, because I'm trying not to do too many new starts this month, only because of the amount of new starts I have, or the amount of whips I have. So I'm trying, hoping that this helps whip down a little bit. It may not finish them, but it could mean that, you know, I'm closer to that goal of the finish. And then at the end of the month for September, we're going to have one more theme weekend. I'm not quite sure what it's going to be yet, but I have a feeling it's going to have something to do with autumn. So, because there are a couple of the autumn stitches that I've done and that I'd like to do some more on before they get put on. Alright, now I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you join me. That would be great. If not, please understand. But I hope you join us for Finish the Job weekend. It starts this Friday at noon and ends on the first day of autumn at noon. So I hope you have a great couple of days of stitching, and I'll see everybody on Friday. Keep on stitching on, everybody.